Hey y'all, today we are ranking the top 5 cities and communities to move to in the North Atlanta metro area. Now this is a super hard list to make because you have to leave a lot of fantastic cities off this list, but these are my picks for the 5 that have the best case at being North Atlanta's best cities and communities. Now these are in no particular order, but we are going to get started with one of the more popular picks in the North Atlanta metro area, and that is, drumroll please, it's Alpharetta. Now, if you've done any research onto moving into the North Atlanta metro area, you'll know that Alpharetta is one of, if not the most popular choice for individuals and families to move to in the North Atlanta metro area. But why is that? Alpharetta is king when it comes to resources and amenities. Whether you're looking at the Avalon, which is a more recent mixed-use development in the city of Alpharetta that has residential and retail, lots of restaurant and dining options, as well as a movie theater, nice little lawn where they can host events and play with the family. Or you're looking at Halcyon, which is another fantastic area for retail and dining. You have downtown Alpharetta. There is so much going on in the city of Alpharetta all the time that not only the residents enjoy, but lots of people in the surrounding communities come into Alpharetta to enjoy those amenities as well. So if you're looking for something that has all of those amenities at your fingertips in the North Atlanta metro area, it does not get much better than Alpharetta. Not only that, but Alpharetta has fantastic school systems, very well rated schools, lots of parks and recreation. It also has a fantastic family vibe. So people who are living in the city of Alpharetta really do feel like they're part of a strong community. Then again, to a few of the stats on the city of Alpharetta, the population is going to be roughly 70,000 people. And the average income is quite high at almost $150,000 per year per household. That's going to be a lot of people who are either living in the city of Atlanta, or Alpharetta has a fantastic economic scene on its own, with lots of tech jobs in the area, a great startup scene, and many companies that have set up headquarters recently, not just in Alpharetta, but also in the surrounding areas. There are lots of options for jobs for people who are living in the Alpharetta area. Now, where is Alpharetta? Well, it does sit pretty much just north of the city of Atlanta, up Georgia 400, which is going to be the main way that people are getting from Alpharetta into the city of Atlanta and vice versa. Now, you might look at the map and think that Alpharetta is so far from the city of Atlanta and from the airport, but because they have that fantastic proximity to Georgia 400, it's a lot easier than it looks to get into the city of Atlanta. Depending on the traffic, you're going to be looking at roughly 30 minutes to get downtown Atlanta and 35 to 40 minutes to get to the Atlanta airport. So if you're somebody who lives in Alpharetta and commutes to Atlanta for work, or if you're a frequent flyer, whether you like to go on vacations a lot or you need to travel a lot for work, the airport and downtown Atlanta are not as far away as they seem. In terms of the real estate in Alpharetta, for a single family detached home, you're going to be looking at roughly $750,000. Now, obviously you can find homes for less than that. You're going to sacrifice on square footage or ready to move inness. There's going to be some work that you might have to put into those homes. You can expect to pay roughly $750,000 for a starter option in the city of Alpharetta, and that's going to go all the way up to the multi-millions. There really isn't a ceiling on the city of Alpharetta. It is where a lot of Atlanta's luxury homes reside. And there is generally a lot of inventory to be found in Alpharetta, especially compared with some of the cities that are nearby. If you're looking to move to the city of Alpharetta, you can generally find lots of options to choose from and find a fantastic home with a great backyard to live in the city of Alpharetta. Now, to get to our next city, we are going to be jumping just next door to the city of Johns Creek. Johns Creek is a very similar size to the city of Alpharetta, roughly 80,000 people, so very similar size. It's a newer city. It was only incorporated in 2006, and in a way, they feel like twin cities. You might not even realize when you've crossed from one into the other. But there are some distinct differences in between these two cities that give them their own vibe and feel. Johns Creek in particular really leans into the nature that's surrounding it. There are lots of golf and tennis club communities in the city of Johns Creek. It has some of the best golfing options in the metro Atlanta area, lots of private clubs that you can be a part of. There are also lots of parks and trails. We were recently in one of the newer parks in Johns Creek with lots of soccer fields, tennis courts, pickleball courts, basketball courts, beach volleyball, paved walking trails, and lots of green space to explore what the nature had to offer in the surrounding areas. Johns Creek really does lean into the parks and rec that's found nearby. In terms of amenities, they're a little bit less developed than the city of Alpharetta, though it might not feel like it because you can cross over pretty easily into the city of Alpharetta and take advantage of, again, the Avalon, Halcyon, and downtown Alpharetta, all that has to offer. Johns Creek is going to be getting its own town center soon, where they aim to develop something that's very similar to the Avalon over in Alpharetta in their own community. So that's a great time to get in before that's built and be able to see the city develop its own identity and likely an increase in housing prices as well. Now, because it's right next to the city of Alpharetta, Johns Creek is going to have similar access to the city of Atlanta, if not a little bit worse. Most people are going to be taking Georgia 400 again, and because Alpharetta sits on Georgia 400 and Johns Creek a little bit to the east, you're going to have likely a little bit longer of a commute time if you are heading into Atlanta for downtown, some of the other amenities, or the airport. You're looking at probably 35 to 40 minutes to get into downtown Atlanta, and then 40 to 45 to get to the airport, again, all depending on traffic. Now, one of the things that makes Johns Creek stand out the most is the public school systems. Now, I'm not going to give my personal opinion on any of the school systems, but the schools in Johns Creek are some of the best rated, not only in the North Metro area, but in the entire state of Georgia. Johns Creek has also been ranked one of the best places to raise a family, not only in just the state of Georgia, but in the entire country. Both of these cities, Alpharetta and Johns Creek, have low crime rates, fantastic schools, and a great community to surround yourself in. That's why they are such a popular pick for families looking to move to the North Atlanta area. In terms of the real estate, there is generally going to be less options in Johns Creek than you might find in Alpharetta, and the real estate is going to be a bit more expensive in Johns Creek than in its counterpart to the west, where in Alpharetta you're looking at roughly $750,000 for the median single-family home. Johns Creek, that's going to be more in the low 800s, $820,000 for the last rolling 3-month period. So you can expect to spend a little bit more for the same home in Johns Creek versus in Alpharetta. Now, for our next home, we are going to be leaving the immediate vicinity of Alpharetta and Johns Creek. We're going to be jumping over to the northwest of Atlanta, and that's going to be the city of Marietta. Now, Marietta is another very well-known city in the metro Atlanta area. It's going to be a little bit smaller than Alpharetta and Johns Creek at roughly 63,000 population. Now, the proximity to Atlanta is going to be much better in Marietta than it is in Alpharetta or Johns Creek. You sit pretty much on the perimeter, which is a ring road that goes around Atlanta, and you sit on I-75, which goes right through the downtown core. So if you are looking to get into the city of Atlanta regularly, if you commute there for work, Marietta can be a great option. It's going to be roughly 20-25 minutes to get to the downtown core, and then 30 to 35 minutes to get to the airport, all depending on traffic, of course. Now, what makes Marietta so appealing is its history. It really does lean into the history of the city, where you might have some newer cities in the north region like Johns Creek. Marietta is a much older city, and it leans into the rich history that it has, whether that's downtown Marietta with Marietta Square, surrounded by beautiful local stores and restaurants. You have the Marietta Food Hall just next door, and then the abundance of more historic homes in the city of Marietta that it really tries hard to preserve. Beyond that, you're going to have a very strong local business scene here in Marietta, and compared to other cities where you might have a lot of commercialization and lots of franchises, Marietta does lean into the small business community, and that's felt throughout the city. That really helps people to feel like they're supporting more local and they have stronger ties to their community. One of the other benefits of living in Marietta is that you have the Battery Atlanta just next door. Now, the Battery is another mixed-use development that was built around the new Braves Stadium, Truist Park, with lots of options from retail and dining to experiences, lots of events that are going on just on Truist Park's doorstep, and then of course the ball games all throughout the spring, summer, and leading into fall. This is a fantastic option for anybody who wants a night out. You don't even have to go in to watch the games. There is a fantastic atmosphere in the Battery, especially on game days. The average income in Marietta is going to be a little bit lower than those other communities in Alpharetta and Johns Creek at roughly $70,000 per household per year. And the median home price is going to be much more affordable. Where you have the mid 700s to low 800s in Alpharetta and Johns Creek, the median home in Marietta is going to be roughly $500,000. That makes Marietta a more affordable option for families who are looking for space in both their home and their yard and have that proximity to the city of Atlanta. Marietta can be a fantastic option. Now we're going to make another jump next door for our next option, and that's going to be East Cobb. Now, East Cobb is actually an unincorporated area in Cobb County that sits between Marietta on its southwest and then Roswell, another fantastic city, on its northeast. It's hard to get an exact population for East Cobb because it's different everywhere you look. With an unincorporated city, it's harder to get those exact numbers, but anywhere from 170,000 to 220,000 roughly, it's going to be the largest community that we're going to be talking about today. Now, because we are sitting right next to Marietta and kind of bordering I-75, the proximity to Atlanta is going to be very similar in East Cobb. Compared to Marietta, you're looking 30 minutes to downtown and 35 to 40 minutes to the airport. And the median home price is going to be a little bit more expensive here in East Cobb versus in Marietta. We're looking at roughly $600,000 for a detached single family home in East Cobb, Georgia. Now, why do families choose East Cobb versus going to a Marietta next door? There's going to be two reasons that most buyers are going to want to choose East Cobb over Marietta. The schools are rated higher in East Cobb versus in Marietta. They have some of the top rated schools in the entire state, especially with the three high schools that are kind of most talked about here in East Cobb, with Pope, Lassiter, and Walton. Those are going to be very desirable school districts for families to get into. Now, the other reason is East Cobb has fantastic nature and parks and recreation as well. I'm not saying that Marietta doesn't have those things, but East Cobb does take it to the next level. East Cobb borders the Chattahoochee River, and with that, you get lots of creeks and walking trail options throughout the city as well. My family and I, we love to go down to Soap Creek Paper Mill, as well as the Marietta Paper Mill, a couple of old paper mills from the Civil War era that were burned down, rebuilt, and now they're left abandoned along these creeks. You can go and explore the ruins. It's a family favorite for us. But just in general, throughout East Cobb, you have a lot of natural beauty, and you can have very easy access to the Chattahoochee River as well. East Cobb also has great youth sports, lots of activities and events, and a strong knit community. The average income in East Cobb is going to be a little bit higher than in Marietta, not quite as high as Alpharetta and Johns Creek, at roughly $100,000 per household per year. But if you are looking to move to any of these cities or any other great Atlanta city or community, then me and my team would be happy to help. I am a local real estate agent who did move here to the North Atlanta area and uses that experience to help buyers who are looking to do the same. So all my information is going to be in the description and the pinned comment. If you are looking to move to one of these or any other great Metro Atlanta area, feel free to reach out. So our fifth and final city for today is going to be the city of Woodstock. Now, this sits further northwest compared to Marietta and East Cobb. It's going to sit all the way up by Lake Allatoona. Now, though it seems really far away, because it's sitting on I-575, which ties into I-75, again, you're gonna have decent access to the city. It's gonna be the most difficult commute of all the cities we've talked about today because it is further out than these other cities, but it's not as bad as it might be if you're just looking on Google Maps. You are looking at probably 35 to 40 minutes to downtown Atlanta and 45 minutes to the airport. It is by far the smallest city that we've talked about today too, with a population roughly around 40,000 people. The average income is going to be similar to East Cobb at about $100,000 per household per year. And the median home price is going to be very similar to Marietta in around that low $500,000 to $525,000. Now, if you are looking for a more small town feel, then you are going to get that here in Woodstock. There's a strong local business scene similar to Marietta. They've also put a lot of work into their downtown core recently. You've got a beautiful amphitheater where they host some events, great breweries and restaurants, local stores, and it's got an excellent sense of community. If you are looking for the small town USA dream with a big backyard to play ball with your kids, you're gonna find that here in Woodstock. Now, the other big benefit that Woodstock has that maybe some of these other cities don't have as strongly, if you are a weekend getaway type of person, then Woodstock is definitely the city for you. Along the northwest edge of the city, you do have Lake Allatoona, which is a very clean and well-managed lake. So if you enjoy being on the boat, going fishing or going doing some water sports, that is a fantastic option that's really not all that far away. If you're looking to get a little bit further, Woodstock is going to have the best access to the North Georgia mountains compared to all of these different cities. So again, weekend warriors, people who like to get out and have those weekend getaways, it does not get much better than being in Woodstock, Georgia. It's also got fantastic parks and recreation, lots of golf, swim, and tennis neighborhoods as well. Me and my family were out there all the time, and it just does give you that quieter, slowed down pace of life that a lot of people are looking for. So again, if you're looking to move to any of these cities or communities, then definitely reach out. Me and my team would be happy to get that process started for you. Now, if none of these were the right fit, I think we're gonna be releasing a part 2 to this video because there were just so many great cities that we had to cut off this list. So make sure you subscribe and hit the like button so that YouTube will show you when that part 2 comes out and when any of our other reviews on different cities in the Metro Atlanta area come out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.